Hello, welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Bang Dream Season 2, Episode 6. So, last episode was focused, well, pretty much all on pastel palettes. I almost said pop and party, but no, it was pastel palettes. Um, Chisato more specifically. Um, with a lot of scenes with Eve and Aya as well. Hina and Maya didn't get a whole lot of screen time, but they were still in it. Basically, they are getting ready for this huge festival. Oh God. WIF, I believe, World Idol Festival. I think it has multiple stages set up. They have the big main stage, and then they have a bunch of little ones spread out throughout the festival, with all kinds of different idol groups playing, and they were invited to go and perform. They're not on the big stage. I mean, they're still, as far as I know, pretty new, so they're on one of the smaller stages. But this was mainly focusing on the fact that they had a song called Yura Yura Ring Dong Dance that is like a duet between Aya and Chisato. And Aya was spending the entire episode trying to practice the song with her. But Chisato was against it, or coming up with excuses as to why they couldn't do it, or anything to get out of it. Mainly because she felt like she couldn't play her bass and sing at the same time well enough to perform it, and she didn't want to practice with Aya until she felt like she was good enough. So she was like renting studio time from all kinds of different places that apparently Tay works at like all of them, at least two of them, and she would go there. I don't know. I wouldn't say every day because she's also got a TV show that she works on, so she had to do filming as well. But whenever she had free time, she would go to the studio by herself and practice the song to get good enough to sing it live. Aya, on the other hand, she's, asking her, let's practice the song. And again, Chisato was like, let's just do the bass part. Let's not focus on vocals right now. Let's just do the bass. Or, no, not today. I got filming I gotta do, so I can't focus on practice right now, or, something like that. It started to really get to Aya. She was starting to believe that Chisato didn't want to practice with her because she didn't think she was good enough to sing with. Because they had a moment where they're doing the bass part, like they're doing the song, but Chisato's only playing bass. She's not singing. And Hina was mentioning that it was kind of off, like it didn't sound right. And Aya apologized, saying that she's kind of not focusing, but then tells Chisato, let's do it one more time, but I want to do it like we're actually performing, so I want to do the whole thing with the singing. And she tells her, no. And Aya is telling her, I want to sing it with you. And Chisato said, I don't. Making it sound like she doesn't want to sing with her. Which I guess at the moment she really didn't, because, she didn't think she was good enough to be singing and playing the bass. She actually talked to Tay about that, where Tay mentions that Kasumi has brought up a few times that it's difficult playing her guitar and trying to sing at the same time. But unlike this group, Kasumi and Tae both play guitar, so she said if there are certain parts in songs that she'll take over for Kasumi on if it starts to get a little difficult. But they don't have that with Pastel Palettes. There's no second bassist. But eventually, they get it all worked out. Aya basically running to meet Chisato in the rain and tells her, that she'll wait as long as she needs to in order for Chisato to think that she's good enough to sing with. Which, was the complete opposite of what Chisato was thinking, but, But then she tells her, I got some studio time booked. Do you want to come and practice with me? And of course she says yes. And then the other girls, Eve, Maya, Hina, all show up because Aya ran out of the studio to go find Chisato. And they all went to go practice together. Then they show them at the festival where they performed the song, and it was really good. I think I mentioned it last episode that I'm not a huge fan of Pastel Palettes. There's maybe 2 or 3 songs that I really like from them, and I think a couple of them, or at least one of them, is a cover song. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just something about Aya's voice. Not a huge fan of her voice. Like when it comes to the other bands, anyway. The same with Kokoro. I'm not a big fan of Kokoro's voice either. But I still like Hello Happy World, and I still like Pastel Palettes. That's just not my style of music, I guess. Give me a second. Taking my shoes off. But yeah, they perform the song. They do really well. They had all of Poppin' Party there. They were watching the show, and then they showed one of the girls that's going to be joining the new band, Reza Sullen or however you pronounce it. You could tell she was going to be in a character that they're going to focus on, because one, she had 2 different colors in her hair. I think they were pastel colored. She's a Pastel Palettes fan, so and they actually took the time to focus on her for a couple seconds. Anyway, I am looking forward to this episode. Unfortunately, a few things were kind of spoiled. Not a lot. I do know that this is an episode about Afterglow, which I was pretty much assuming it was going to be anyway, since they've done all the other bands. The only band that did not get any, a spotlight episode was Afterglow. And we see another member of the new band, and that's about all I know. So nothing too bad, or big, just small things. But let's get into the episode. Alright, so the video is going to be located over here. And the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And, wait, what volume do I have this at? That should be fine. Okay, and we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.